Welcome back to DAP Build. Today I'm continuing progress on my 1989 Porsche 911 Turbo Replica. I'm going to strip down a bit more of what's on top of the chassis here, remove a few more pieces, pedal assembly, shifter linkage, handbrake, park brake, all that sort of thing. We'll see if we can get it into a nice clean state so that we can actually properly inspect the state of the metal, see how far I really need to go with either replacing these boards or if I actually can get away with just cleaning them up, doing a bit of patchwork, and then hopefully that solves the problem there. So that's a big task out of the way. After that, I'll then look at this rear end, whether I strip it down completely, which to be honest, I most likely will. I prefer to have everything dismantled, start again from fresh, so I know that when I go to put it back on the road, it is tight. Now, one thing I will state off the bat here is that I do obviously have a bit of new audio equipment. The sound is a lot better from what I heard from the last episode anyway. I'm going to persist through the trucks in the background because they are just non-stop. These last 3 episodes, as you've seen, they've just been continuous. They're just going. So I am going to persist through. If I find that when I edit this one, it's a bit noisy, I'll look at getting rid of that in the future and have to persist with chopping stuff up. Anyway, so we'll start to dismantle things and see how it progresses. Great thing about this car, it comes apart so easily in most situations. So all I'm really having to do here is remove about 4 bolts on this side, 2 on the other, and then this entire assembly should be removed. The great thing is that everything here is captive, so even these don't have nuts on the bottom, which from a manufacturing standpoint they shouldn't, but unlike all the other bolts that had to actually support the tub on top and everything, well, ooh, nope, that's okay, it goes out of the way. Can't imagine this to be, yep, there we go, too easy. I can't even get that right out of the way. They aren't supposed to stick like that, so as you can imagine, they're either going to need to be rebuilt or replaced, depending on what I do with the whole braking system and the pedal there, the clutch assembly. The master cylinder might need something a bit custom, so I'm not sure yet. Come out. Not sure yet whether I'll be needing to upgrade that or I can use the existing one. It just really depends. And can I reach just, ooh, okay. What was I saying earlier? I could use power tools, but I just always prefer to use hand tools, just, I don't know why. I will of course try to remove this brake line as well, so that'll simply be a matter of feeding it out from the twisting hollows that have actually gone into the frame. I imagine just removing these clips, undoing the end piece there, and then just feeding it all the way through once this pedal assembly's gone. That should just come right out, so that'll be a nice easy task as well. I'll do that. As I said, that probably, just for a safety standpoint, I'll replace it because it does have a bit of corrosion along this section and the join here, or the elbow here I should say. So I'll go about removing that, replacing it. Okay, so removed everything cover-wise on this side. What I'll have to try and figure out, and I'll show you in a second what my problem is, I think the rod that comes through here has a spring clip on it, but it's extremely rusted on there. So I don't know if I can manage to get a screwdriver under there and pry it off, or I probably should have looked at this beforehand, but I just realized, okay, I think it's just a pin that holds the rest of the pedal assembly onto the bracket. The actual bracket at the bottom here is actually part of the frame, it's welded onto it, so I can't simply just lift it off or remove a bolt or anything. the tongue that is there, much like these, is permanent, and then a pin holds the rest of it in place. So, oh, actually, nearly. Okay. No, it's a bit welded in there. I'll sort that out in a second. Yeah. Okay. I'll get back to you in a second. Captain's log. Energy supplies are low. Will to continue wavering. The pedal controls are fighting me. They just won't come off. Why won't you come off? Second to that, I have discovered the previous life form has further destroyed the car. What the and Captain's log. So, for those of you who don't do Trek Talk, it has been a long, very long, extremely long couple of weeks whereby I have achieved absolutely nothing. Work is insane. I normally have a reserve of episodes in which I can continue along, and then I've got a bank where I can just upload, and every week one goes live. I've caught up. This is being recorded the day before the actual release day of this video. I'm so far behind. There is just, the world is crazy with Omicron, and it's kicking me about. I don't have it, but it's just affecting me work-wise and obviously everything else. So I've just got to a point now where I'm trying to persevere with these pedal controls. From the last time I filmed to now, it has been that long, I've got absolutely nowhere. And the trouble is, I'll take you in a second and show you, but the brackets that hold this assembly in, number one were seized, they were completely rusted on there. But then essentially there's a bracket as well that goes onto the shaft sleeve. It's seized. I cannot get it off for the life of me. I've tried every type of penetrating fluid known to man. I've tried pry barring it, I've tried blow torching it, I kid you not, or gas torch, whatever you want to call it basically. It is on there, which leaves me in the annoying predicament of having to more likely grind it off, which means I've then got to try and find a replacement part. It's an old car. It's not like it's a rubber or a tail light or something like that. This is a bit more specific, and I've searched on every single part supply website for Volkswagens. That part is not sold separately. I don't think I can even find a pedal assembly separately, not in the original style anyway. I can find upgraded ones, but then I've got to change a whole heap of other things, and I just didn't want to do that. I don't need to do that. I just want it to be like it should. But I can't get it off, and if I can't get it off, I've got to grind it off, and then there's all likelihood that to get the outer shaft section sleeve, it's not going to be smooth. It's going to be jagged, which means I can't simply replace the bracket. I have to replace the entire thing, and I don't want to do that. I've been fighting and cursing and screaming and carrying on like a little girl just to try and get the actual thing off. It's not happening. So I'm here now, still contemplating the method, and I don't know. Next to that, I removed the, whatever that stuff is. I'm really tired actually, I really am. a little over it, to be honest. Just come at Christmas and I'm already done for the year. Says something. The previous owners, I don't know why. There is nothing behind here that you can't do without having to cut a stupid hole and do these ridiculous, they've got 2 segments cut out. Only one of them's been folded down because you can see where it's been creased folding over. The only thing back there you need to do is attach the clutch cable to the little lever section on the pedal. You can do that without having to do this. So I've got to fix this now, and again, I can't weld, I can't do that, so I've got to get someone to fix that. I suppose I can have that done at the same time floor pan, so you know, there is that. Then I find another thing. These here, I thought if I can't do this, I'll move on to something else. And this is where I kind of threw my hands up in the air. I just kind of really got over it because these here, these little side sections that look like they were supposed to be physically a part of the space frame structure. Sorry if I'm stumbling with words. Again, I'm really tired. I thought these would have just been silicone on, like the bottom of the space frame had the gasket sort of material. No, they haven't. They've tack welded these on in sections, so I have to grind those off to then remove those. They've also put the gunk under there. There is also the silicone under there because I can get a small screwdriver and drill it off. It's horrendous. It's horrible. I will get it done. It's just frustrating. So many stupid things with this entire build. I've never ever had a car that I've had to fight with so much to get any progress. I mean, stripping down a car is not that big of a complex deal. Putting it back together, you always lose a few nuts and bolts here and there. There's always something that won't go together. You always lose a 10mm socket. I've never had that problem, but anyway. I don't really understand how someone can ruin something so much and still not even finish it. Oh, well, not finishing, I can understand that much, but it's just, when you've got so little energy and you're trying to do this, it just doesn't work. And it's kind of one of those things you need to walk away from and come back to. I did that. I've done that. I'm now caught up to myself, and now next week I don't potentially have an episode unless I can do this. However, this is where I'm going to wrap up this episode because this is literally the progress. I want to post a video, I want to have a weekly episode. So what is being released next week if I don't have an episode? And I most likely won't. Well, there is something I've been working on, and it involves me obviously, but it doesn't directly involve me. I'll show you a couple of clips now. What I want to be doing is talking to other people that have done builds, that have completely started their build from scratch, either torn it down or bought it in bits and pieces in a bucket, whatever, and brought it back to life. It can be something reasonably common, it can be something that many of you haven't even heard of, it can be something really rare. I don't care. I've put the word out to a few people, got a few people interested. I've already filmed one. My friend Mike, he decided to join me on this little adventure I thought I'd have and talk about his Mitsubishi Legnum. So that will be coming out, if not in the near future, then next week. I want to have this as a separate thing towards my build, obviously, but at the same time, because I just don't have any content at the moment, I'm going to include that as a replacement episode. So I did film that with the intention of kind of doing a release in between. It's basically going to act as a filler episode. So it works out in a way, I suppose. So yeah, that will be coming up either in the near future or next week. I will press on and try and remove this. I hope I can because, well, I haven't shaved in a while. Yeah, this is quite bushy. Anyway, so on that note, as always, thank you very much for joining me. This is a rather pathetic episode. I do apologise. Like, subscribe, comment below about how much of a letdown this one was, but you know, we persevere, we press on. Cool, I just got paid. So yeah, Wow, I am totally off. Yes, like, subscribe, comment below. Tell your friends, tell your family, tell your neighbor I have absolutely no energy to think of something not even funny. They're never funny, but I think they're funny. Anyway, until next time, guys, Captain's log out.